This Charizard deck has gotten 10 times better since Shining Revelry released. It genuinely feels like I'm able to get Charizard online by turn 3 in 80% of my games. I run the deck with 2 Ionos. I actually really love this card and I think it's being undervalued by a lot of people right now, so make sure to give this version of the deck a try. In this video, I'm going to take this Charizard deck into Master Rank games and over-explain my every thought process, because believe me, even with a deck like this which you might think is simple to play, a lot of thought does go into playing it correctly. Going first against a Dark deck pretty much has to be Darkrai Giratina or Darkrai Weavile. Most likely Giratina though. I think I have an okay start. Getting the Moltres and the Charmander from turn 1 is decent. Would have liked to seen Professor's Research, but it's fine. So the considerations are, play the Charmander now to play around Mars, since I'm holding 5 cards and these decks love to run Mars. However, if I play the Charmander down, and he has Sabrina, he gets to put 20 damage onto the Charmander, which is practically game losing. I'm going to make the gamble that he doesn't have Mars. Plus, there is still a world where even if he has Mars, I can still win the game from that point. Whereas if he gets 20 damage onto the Charmander, it's literally game losing. The reason it's game losing is because you need to, on the turn when you're attacking with Charizard, you need your Charizard to be on full health. Otherwise, there is like small windows where they can still win this game. So thankfully he doesn't have Sabrina there. We are a bit weak to Sabrina now, but there's nothing we can do about that. I'm not exactly going to Iono my hand away since I have the good cards. I'm going to place Cape on Charmander right now because it's completely necessary. What I mean by that is, to seal the deal on this game, I'm always going to need a Giant's Cape on the Charizard to feel comfortable, so I'm happy placing that down. It also disincentivizes Mars a little bit. Now the game plan's pretty simple. We come in with Charizard, we get to 5 energy, and then we can kill multiple Pokemon over 2 turns. He is actually running the Druddigon version. This version has actually fallen out of favour quite a bit. You don't really see it much anymore. So I think I'm just going to play the 60 damage Charmeleon. Now, the only real thing that scares me is if he has a second Druddigon, because then my Charizard's going to have to go through 2 Druddigons. But other than that, nothing's really threatening me this game. He didn't have Giratina turn 1. You know, this might not even be Darkrai Giratina. This could technically be Greninja. I know there's some Druddigon Darkrai Greninja decks out there. Could even be Magnezone. So he does have the Sabrina, so he's pushing 80, 100 right now. So that means my Charizard's on 80. But yeah, it's GG because he can never build up a second Darkrai quick enough. He's basically hoping that I don't have Charizard this turn. That's the best play he had. I'm not going to hold it against him. We do have the Charizard. Just in case he's running Team Rocket Grunt, I'm going to keep playing my energy on the Charizard. That's the thing I love about this deck. It seems deceptively simple. Wait, maybe that's the wrong saying. It seems simple, but it's actually deceptively skill testing. Like, there's so many decisions you can make. Like, holding cards for Iono, knowing that you need to place the cape on the Charizard in this matchup. But yeah, he's going for Team Rocket Grunt. Oh no, please. No, what's going on? So that buys him 2 turns. So he goes to 1 energy on Darkrai. I go to 3. He goes to 2. I go... Yeah, so I still win this game. That wasn't enough for him. And even if the Charizard dies when attacking, that's completely fine. Honestly, I could even retreat and try and build up again with Moltres. I have double X speed. Maybe that's just the better player. Does it really matter? Does it matter? I guess in a world where he has a second Team Rocket Grunt, it matters. But then I won't be able to retreat the Moltres. Actually, that's what I'm going to go for. I am going to go for this player. So my reasoning is, if he's running a second Team Rocket Grunt, he could really screw me over here. This just closes the game out and allows me to play around that. Honestly, I can even threaten 70 from Druddigon next turn. Completely fine. The only way I get punished is if I get literally 0 heads. So let's try and get at least 1 head. Please, no. So I guess I jinxed myself by saying that. But yeah, this game's still over. There's nothing he can do. He's just wasting time. So now I'm gonna... I can either push 70, but then if he has Leaf, he gets a kill, and so I need to build up Charizard here. I'm completely fine doing this. I just realised, what if he has... No, okay, so I was scared of like Cyrus or Sabrina, but he won't be able to retreat with Leaf and do Cyrus or Sabrina in the same turn. So I'm completely safe here. There's nothing he can do. Maybe if he has a second Team Rocket Grunt and removes multiple heads. Multiple energy from the Moltres. I feel like this guy definitely dragged this game on a little bit when there was no hope for him to win. I'm not sure why he's done this. It's actually a little bit disrespectful. Let me know in the comments if you hate it when your opponent does this. The game's over, but they're dragging it out still. He finally does concede. Yeah, GG. Going second into a Dark matchup. Most likely Darkrai Giratina. That's what it is. So usually I would say the Giratina much prefers to be on the back line. But I think in this matchup they want to have the Giratina on the front and try and take down the Moltres as quickly as possible. At the moment I don't have Moltres, but there is good chances that I find it. I would need to find an X-Speed as well though. We'll see what happens. So I wonder if he's going to opt to build up the back Giratina or the front Giratina. He is opting to build the front Giratina. I actually like that player that he's gone for. He's identified that he needs to go on the aggressive this game. We do pick up the X-Speed, so that means I can research first to try and guarantee finding the Moltres. Because if I Pokeballed and found Charmander, I'll be really sad. But it's a 66% chance to draw the Moltres. So I do pick that up and I can now X-Speed into it. And assuming he doesn't hit me with Mars, I'm in a really good position this game. I have a couple turns to pick up Charizard. There's so many good cards in my deck. That's why I love running double Iono. It really ups the consistency of the deck. I'm just thinking about Giant's Cape. So the reasons for playing Giant's Cape are, he could Mars, and I have Charmeleon, which I want to play next turn. A downside for playing the Cape is, it's a potential card I can use with Iono to increase drawing Charizard later. The reason I am going to play the Giant's Cape is because I know from experience that you do need one Giant's Cape on the Charmander in this matchup. So if I'm going to need it anyway, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone by playing around Mars a little bit, and also getting the Cape down. But as I said, the only downside is it's 1 less card that I can shuffle back with Iono to try and find Charizard. Because obviously without Charizard nothing's happening. You can't win without Charizard. But I have a couple turns. The Pokeball's not as bad as it looks. It does allow me to thin out 1 card from my deck, which is beneficial. Let's see, does it matter between the 40 or the 60? Not really in this matchup, so I'm going to play the 60. He's not actually attacking next turn. He still needs to end his turn 1 more time. I don't think attacks with Moltres ever actually do anything in this matchup, so I am going to just keep slamming my energy onto the Charmeleon. So cards I'm looking for next turn are 1 Professor Research, 2 Charizard, or 2 Iono. That's 5 out of 9. Even the one Pokemon communication would be decent for me, so that's 6 out of 9 really good cards. Obviously, if I don't get Charizard now, I will have to... Also, he Sabrina's now. But this allows him to put 20 on the Charmeleon, which is actually quite annoying. But ultimately, it doesn't mean anything if I get Charizard now. This just means if I don't get Charizard and I retreat, he can Cyrus me next turn. He's basically telegraphing that he has Cyrus, I believe. And I do top deck the Charizard, so we get to win this game. There's nothing he can do now. That's why I love this deck so much, because I feel like you have a really good matchup into the Darkrai Giratinas. The double Iono really improves the consistency of this deck. And the Darkrai Giratina is never fast enough to beat you, and that's why the cape is really important as well. But yeah, GG. Going first against a water deck, most likely Gyarados. There's actually a world where if he has Magikarp in the front spot and no other Pokemon, we could one-shot him with Charmander. But that would have been more likely if we were going second. So now I need to try and find my Moltres as quickly as possible. I do actually have 2 turns to find him since we're going first. But I'm looking for Leaf, X-Speed and Moltres. If I do hit Moltres, no reason not to play him down on the board. Not too worried about Mars in this scenario, but I do have all my pieces, so I'm just thinking if I want to put Giant's Cape down. I think the Giant's Cape always needs to go on Charmander in this matchup because Charizard has 180 health. If I hit into a Rocky Helmet, I fall to 160. And Gyarados would be able to one-shot in that scenario. So I think having a cape on the Charmander is always nice. He's hoping to pick up Magikarp right now. The fact that he's using Pokemon Comms tells me he didn't have it, but he managed to find it. He even has the Origin Form Palkia, so this guy is going second. He has the absolute god start. This is going to be a really hard game to win. How do I win this? I think a win this game involves me using Moltres to take some prizes. I do pick up the X-Speed. So I think this is going to be a really tough game. I'm definitely going to need a little bit of luck from this point to win. I'm going to need to see some tails from his Origin Form Palkia when he eventually brings it in to start attacking. Maybe he just never finds his Gyarados. I only get one head, which is a nightmare scenario. So even though the game is really rough, I'm still going to try and play it on my outs to win this. This could be Magikarp or Manaphy. He does have the Gyarados. Let's see if he has Misty. So if I can kill the Manaphy with the Moltres, I would feel a bit happier. We're going to jam the Crown Rare Charizard down on the board. I'm just thinking, what cards do I need in this matchup? Is there any reason to Iono now? Let's see. He doesn't have Professor Research, so I don't want to potentially give him that. But in a world where he uses red and Coin Flip hits the Moltres, he does get to one-shot. I think I just need I need some things to go in my favour here, so I can't play around everything. Let's see if we can get 3 heads here. We do hit 3 heads, so that gives us a little bit of hope in this game. Let's see, what are the scariest things for me right now? If he plays Rocky Helmet on Palkia, that pretty much seals the loss. Because my Charizard's always going to have to hit into the Origin Form Palkia. And if I fall to 180, he can use red to one-shot the 180. So he does have it. Anything I can do here? I guess I'm just hoping he doesn't have red. So I can retreat and attack. And if he doesn't have red, I win. I'm going to try and make a big brain play here. Since he's gone for this play, I think there's a really good chance that he has red in hand and he knows that he's in a comfortable position here. I'm going to Iono, hopefully get rid of his red. We'll see if he has it next turn. You can always put the Manaphy in to tank for one turn if he wants to waste a turn for red. Let's see. I definitely have to go on the offensive here. If he has red, he beats me. Could play Moltres down and then cape it to play around Sabrina. Just going to do that. So we're going to go to 3 energy. We can one-shot the Manaphy with 60. He's running a second Rocky Helmet and places on the Manaphy. That's kind of annoying. And if he has red, he straight up kills my Charizard right now. So let's see what he goes for. This tells me he has the red, so 2 out of 11. Well, 3 out of 11, I guess. He got the red. Yeah, he's got the red. He doesn't? He's Mistying? Why does he do it like this? Am I missing something? He needs to remove an energy from my Charizard now, otherwise he loses. Maybe he's scared of Sabrina? And I win the game. And you get to see this firsthand. I guess he was scared of Sabrina. He knew that... But I only had like 1 card. I think he definitely misplayed. Let me know if I'm missing anything in the comments below though. But I'm really happy with how I played that game. I played to my outs. I even think he misplayed a little bit, which gave me the win. GG. I'm going second into a grass matchup with Charmander start. Most likely it's a Meowscarada. Okay, so I actually did a video on this deck yesterday. Make sure to check it out. This is Rotom, Carnivine, Arceus. And they run 1 normal Chairman, which allows the retreat cost. This deck actually won a tournament, and it is definitely a strong deck. I was going to say something like, if a Weedle was in the front spot, Charmander would be able to one-shot it, something along those lines, but don't really need to worry about that now. Now I just need to worry about getting Moltres and building up Charizard ASAP. I actually think this is a really hard matchup because your Charizard needs to go through 2-1 prizes, and then you still have to then go through the Arceus. That's why I think this is a hard matchup. So I think I need to go try and play it my outs as aggressively as possible. So I'm going to actually X-Speed now, and then Iono and hope to get Moltres. This is what I'm going for. I do pick up the Moltres. I think I had to go for that line. Double Pokeball as well. So he's going to be hitting 20 onto the Charmander. Or he could retreat and push 50 onto Moltres. Do I want to place all my Pokemon down? Probably not. Do I want to place both Charmanders down? I think the answer is no, because as I said, I need to play as greedy as possible in this hard matchup where we had quite a bad start. So what I'm going to go for is I'm going to save these 2 cards in hand. That way if I find my second Iono, I can have better odds of finding Charmeleon and Charizard. Sometimes you just have to play mega greedy like this. Like for example, if he retreats and has Sabrina, he's already pushing 50 onto Charmander. But you can't play around everything, like you could see from the bad start. So yeah, he does the play exactly. I'm still happy with my play though. I think I had to play a little greedy to even have a chance in this matchup. Now I can retreat. In the video where I played the Carnivine deck, I actually played into a Charizard, had this exact line, and what that Charizard player did was, they left the Charmander on 10 HP and they started building up their second Charmander, so that's what I'm going to go for. So let's see if it mirrors exactly what I did in the video. I think I need to build up for a Moltres attack, so that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to hold the Charmeleon for this guy next turn. Is that correct, actually? Yeah, that is definitely correct, I think. So in the video, I explained that from the Carnivine player's point of view, I think it's correct that he should retreat into Rotom and snipe off the Charmander to get the free point, and then he needs to focus all his energy on killing this Moltres. But the fact that he's used his Sabrina already does make it a bit harder, so he would need his one of Cyrus to do that. I'm going to try and build up this left Charmander as quickly as possible. But I'm pretty confident he's not running 2 Sabrina. I'm pretty confident he's only running 1 Cyrus. Actually, he might be running 2 Cyrus. I honestly can't remember. But it looks like he's going to hit... Wait, he is running a second Sabrina. I think I just give him the 10 HP Charmander, right? Or do I give him... Or do I try and save my prize? I am going to give him the Charmander that's 1 HP. Because the fact that he's running 2 Sabrina means he has to have cut some cards outright. Like, they can't just fit every card in the deck. Or maybe he's like only running 1 Cyrus, or maybe he's even cut his Cyrus. That's what I'm going for. Sadly, he did have the cape, so he gets to survive 1 turn with Moltres. If I was killing him right here, I'd feel much more confident. Let's see. I'm just thinking if there's ever a world where I put this Moltres down. I guess I don't have to decide right now. Thing is, am I attacking for 90? Or is that bad? This is tricky. I think the play I need to go for is... I need to push 200 damage onto the Carnivine one-shotting him. So I got 3 heads, that's huge. Now I just need to find Charizard, and my play comes true. I was thinking, if I put the 3rd energy on Moltres and attack, I'm never building up the Charizard quick enough, right? Because then I'd have to do another attack next turn, and it's just too slow. So I'm going to go for the play where I Charizard next turn, retreat and kill the Carnivine. I don't run Sabrina, so I am going to have to go through Carnivine and Rotom. We do pick up the Charizard. I'm going to use Research here. Right, so I don't have to worry about Sabrina. He's used 2 of those. I am going to X-Speed to save 1 energy. It might be relevant. Now I do lose to Cyrus. But the fact that he used Iono tells me he was Ionoing to look for Cyrus. Could he be running Mars? Could be running Mars. I don't really see any downside to playing the Moltres. So he gets a couple of turns. I think he gets 2 turns to find Cyrus because I'm going to have to go through the Rotom. Maybe he doesn't have the basic Pokemon to do 90 damage. Scorpium. He hits the Research. This means he either doesn't have the Cyrus or he didn't have an extra basic Pokemon to do the 90. Wait, I'm tripping Anna. Yeah, it already did 90, so he doesn't have Cyrus currently. Otherwise, he would have won the game. But he's looking for his one of Cyrus ASAP. Oh, but now he's pushing 50. So I need to find my Giant's Cape. So that was the downside of playing Moltres. Now it's harder for me to find my Giant's Cape. How many Giant's Cape do I have left? I still have 2 in the deck. So I basically need to find this. I'm also helping him find Cyrus if he needs it. But these are the things you have to do. The Giant's Cape doesn't do anything to protect Moltres. I'm just going to play it anyway. Now it comes down to if he has... What he needs is either Cyrus, or he needs a basic Pokemon plus red to do the 150 one-shot. Let's see what he has. The fact that he used double Sabrina is kind of giving me hope that he doesn't have Cyrus. But it would be completely stupid to remove both Cyruses from the deck. You have to be running one Cyrus. I think he top-decked it because, I mean, honestly, let's see what he goes for. And he does have it. That's fine, you can't win every game. I think I played to my outs perfectly, and yeah, there's not really too much to say on that game. Going first into a Psychic matchup pretty much has to be Mewtwo Giratina, right? So we are going first, but that's completely fine. We have the Moltres, we have the Charmander. We now have the Charmeleon. But let's see, am I worried about Mars? I'm not too worried about Mars right now. And I'm also not too worried about Sabrina because he's never doing any attacks on the Charmander, so I can just X-speed out if he does Sabrina. But the reason I'm holding these cards in hand is because it's an extra card to use on Iono if I need to look for Charizard at a later point. So that's why I'm holding the Charmander. Let's see if he has Mewtwo or if he has the second Giratina. I think Mewtwo would be kind of scary. Oh, he has both Pokemon, so yeah, he has Giratina and Mewtwo. So his play is probably to put one energy on... Maybe he just puts both energy on the front Giratina and tries to start racing me down. Or he could go for one energy Mewtwo, one energy Giratina on the front. Or he could just focus on building the back guys, but I'm not too big of a fan of that line. So he is going for the double Giratina on the front spot. If we could pick up Cape, we can play around his attack plus red. So we have the Charmeleon. Once again, I am gonna hold all these cards in hand so I can Iono next turn for maximum effect to draw Charizard. He's not attacking this turn. Also, I would like to find Cape to allow the Moltres to survive for one turn. We pick up 3 heads, that's huge. Because we went first, we were always a turn behind on Moltres generation, so getting 3 heads there brings us really back into the game. Once I get 5 energy on the Charizard, I feel comfortable. Obviously, I still do need to find the Charizard. Yeah. So my options are... wait for a turn, because I technically don't need the Charizard till next turn. But then if I get hit by Sabrina, I'm really screwed because he'll one-shot. Or I could try maybe playing one Charmander down. That way if he Sabrinas, I can give him the Charmander. Or maybe I could put the Moltres down because if he Sabrinas, he's not getting the one-shot because then he can't red. However, I think I am going to Iono this turn because I still have 2 Professor's Researchers in the deck. And I have another Iono which I could potentially use next turn. I think I do have good odds of picking up the Charizard. Okay, so I don't get the Charizard, but what I do get is I can play this Moltres to play around the Sabrina, like I said. And then I can place the Cape on the front Moltres. So at least this way, he can never one-shot this Moltres or the Charmeleon. And I have a couple more turns. Question is, do I want to ever put energy on the Moltres threatening an attack? I'm thinking of putting 1 energy on the back Moltres. The only way I get punished is if I get literally 0 heads from the middle Moltres right now. that's the only way I get punished. Yeah, all my heads are going to go on the Charmeleon. We get 2 heads. So we're now at the 5 energy on the Charizard that I need to be able to one-shot both of these guys. Now I can focus on maybe building up Moltres. Honestly, the 70 damage doesn't really mean anything. It's just the Charizard waiting room now. So I have 2 Charizard, 2 Professor's Research. That's 4 out of 10 cards that are really insane for me. There's also another Iono and a Pokemon Communication. The Pokemon Communication wouldn't do anything right now, so I don't really want to see that. We do hit the Research. So if I hit Charizard, I can start attacking. We do hit the Charizard, and I'm going to go on the offensive now, and this should be GG. I'm even going to use X-Speed. Just in case he's running Team Rocket Grunt and only gets 1 head, at least I can still do an extra attack with Charizard. So yeah, I'm really happy with the fact that I decided to do Iono on that previous turn. There's definitely a world where some people might hold on to the Iono there waiting for an extra turn, but I think you have to do the Iono right there and then. Because there's so many good draws in the deck that you can get. There's not really anything he can do now. The Charizard's always threatening the one-shot. Unless he has Team Rocket Grunt. The fact that he's not conceding tells me he probably does run a Team Rocket Grunt and he's hoping to maybe a Miracle hitting like 3 heads or something. But he is going to need a Miracle because his Mewtwo doesn't even one-shot the 180 from Charizard, so... Actually, I guess he would push the 50, wouldn't he? Setting below 150. Let's see what he has, and he does concede. GG. Going second against a Steel deck, most likely Skarmory Magnezone. You don't really see Dialga Arceus anymore. But I'm my favourite in this matchup. I think as long as he doesn't get like double Magnezone, I should be favoured in this matchup. So we'll see how it goes. We do need to pick up Charmander next turn, but we have a few cards that can help us do that. We have double Research, which is really good. Now we just need to find so there's the Charmander. Okay, so we can wait for 1 turn. The Sabrina's, there's nothing I can really do about that just now. So just have to kind of pray that he doesn't do that. Thankfully, he didn't have Magnemite on 1, so his Magnemite's already delayed by 1 turn, assuming he gets it this turn. Let's see what he does. So he finally gets Magnemite. He has 5 cards in hand, so probably a good chance that he's going to be playing Magneton next turn. Let's see, is there any difference between the 40 and the 60 attack Charmeleon? Can't really think of any, so I'm going to go with the 60 attack Charmeleon. Draw 2. So if he has red, he can only do 70. I don't need to play Cape now. I am kind of scared of Mars. Some of these decks do like to run Mars. What should I do about that? Thing is, this Cape is an extra card for Iono. Does pushing 70 do anything? Let me see. I don't think pushing 70 actually does anything ever in this game. So I'm going to just focus building all my energy on Charmeleon. Because if I want to go through 3-1 prizes, I am going to need 6 energy on the turn when I do my first attack. Currently I only have 4. We'll see what happens. I still need to pick up the Charizard. We have a chance with the communication. But also draw one of my 2 Ionos. Yeah, so he's building up for double Magnezone here, which is kind of scary. It's going to be hard for him to have all the pieces. He would need a Magnezone and a Magneton Magnezone on the right as well. We Pokeball first, and then we're going to use Communication to try and draw Charizard. Let's see. I'm thinking if I want to shuffle the basic or the evolution. I do have a Pokeball in the deck, but I am going to shove the Charmeleon back because I could potentially try building up for a second Charizard. Let's see. If I Giant's Cape on the Moltres, he could potentially survive one hit. Do I ever go on the offensive right now with Charizard? I think I do. I think I go on the offensive right now with Charizard. Can I leaf? Yep, I can leaf. I'm going to leaf. This just makes him need to have his pieces one turn sooner. So I like going on the aggressive and putting some pressure on him. Just thinking if I need the cape. So he's going to do 110. Plus the 20 from the Giant's Cape is that. So that's 130. So I am going to Giant's Cape on the Charizard to put him 20 HP above the 50 that a second Skarmory could do. Obviously, if he has red on top of that, then he does kill, but I do like my chances here. I think if he had a second Skarmory, he would already have it on the board. The thing I'm most scared of seeing now is Magnezone plus Magneton. If I only see Magnezone, I'm not scared at all. And if he doesn't have a single Magnezone, it's completely over. Okay, so he places a Giant Cape. He's got 4 cards in hand. Let's see what he has. He does have Magneton. So if he has Magnezone now, it's getting kind of scary. The suspense is killing me. Does he have it? Does he not? The fact that he's not conceding tells me he probably has it. He can push 60. He's only pushing 60. Okay. So he needs Magnezone plus red. I think if he had the Magnezone, he would have done it on this guy right now. Maybe he wouldn't, you know. Maybe it was actually correct to do it the way he's doing it. I'm just trying to think if playing the Charmander is ever a hindrance on the board. I think he isn't. I think it's fine to play him. Thing is, now we're only at 2 energy. This is why I was saying I needed 6 energy on that turn, but I only had 5. Now I'm 1 energy behind, so I can only do 60. Let's see. If he has Magnezone and red, probably GG. If my Charizard gets an extra turn, would still have good chances. I could even double X speed retreat into Moltres and try ramping for a turn. He needs Magnezone right now. So he does have the Magnezone. Either he top decked it or he was holding it because he wanted to do player. He doesn't have red though, so we're alive. The only problem is now, if I retreat and he has Cyrus or Sabrina, I don't even get to push the 70 damage. 60 damage, sorry. Damn, we're actually going to lose this game. So, does the 60 damage do anything? I think the 60 damage doesn't do a single thing. Actually, he's only getting one more Magnezone attack off ever. Okay. That's good to know. The thing is, if I use double X speed now... Okay. I am going to double X speed. Maybe I should only use 1 X speed. Because I'm just thinking... Will I need the retreat cost in the future? And there's a good chance he has Cyrus or Sabrina, so I'm going to play it like this. I'm going to save 1 X speed. I'm going to retreat into the full health Moltres. So he needs to find Skarmory. Only 1 head. Let's see. There's no point placing it on the Charizard, is there? There's no point at all. What if I place it on the middle Moltres? Okay, I didn't do it in time, so it goes on the Charizard. Yeah, I wasn't really sure where to place the 1 energy there. Feels wrong placing it on the Charizard because that's the key target for Cyrus. But also it feels wrong placing it on the Moltres because it only has 40 health. Then if I place it on this Charmeleon, we're 3 turns away from even being able to do the damage. He does have the Skarmory now. But let's see what he opts for. If he has Sabrina, I'll probably give him the Moltres. If he has Cyrus, he gets to kill the Charizard. I'll put the Moltres back in and try... So he's retreating now. Okay. He has Cape, so we have to do 100. Don't think that really matters. He's pushing 50. If I'd placed... No, because then he would have just killed the Moltres. We do actually pick up the second Charizard. I'm not even necessarily going to play him down because 70 plus 40 from Charmeleon is enough to kill Skarmory. But I do need to kill one of these Pokemon. How do I win this? I think the play is just to attach to Moltres, threaten the 70 next turn, and maybe build towards this Charmeleon. Because then we can do 70 plus 40 to kill him. Maybe that's the play, or maybe I just take the gamble and put 1 energy on. Maybe I could do it like this, where I'm threatening to do the 40 at some point, whilst also setting up for the 200 if he doesn't Cyrus in the Charizard. I think that's what I'm going to go for. This Charmeleon can tank 1 hit from the Skarmory, whereas this Moltres can't. I do have 1 Cape left in the deck. He can always retreat into Magnezone for 1 attack. But he needs to kill the Charizard right now to even have a chance. He needs Cyrus. Usually they run 1 Cyrus in the deck. He only has 3 cards though, 3 still left in the deck. Let's see what he goes for. He's now retreating. Yeah, that indicates he doesn't have Cyrus because he wouldn't waste his 110 attack on the Charizard. So I don't really know what he's hoping for. If he had Rocky Helmet, we could have forced a tie. That would have been pretty cool. Now I get to take the win. GG. Let me know if you think I went wrong anywhere in this game. If there's anything I could have done better. I'm always looking to improve. I think I played it pretty solidly though. But yeah, let me know. I'm going second into a water matchup. Most likely it's Gyarados, but it could be Articuno or Palkia. Yeah, it's looking like Gyarados. So in this matchup, you don't need to worry about Moltres attacks, you just need to get your Charizard online as quickly as possible. We're always one-shotting the Gyarados once we do get it online. So let's see. I'll start with Pokeball. We do win the 66%. We were definitely favoured there to find the Charmander. Now I could Iono here. Actually, that was completely stupid. We have the Charmeleon in hand, so there's no need to Iono here, ever. We'll get the Charmeleon down, and then next turn assess if we want to Iono to try and find Charizard. We'll see now if he has the Magikarp. The worst nightmare would be Palkia and Magikarp. He only has... Wait, so he was using Misty on... How did his coin flip so fast there? That was crazy. Did you see that? It looked like he coin flipped absolutely instantly. He doesn't have Magikarp, which is huge for me. That sets him back a lot. We have the full line, so I feel like I'm in a commanding position here. What if I build up for a Moltres to do 70 to Manaphy? Thing is, I would need to get at least 2 heads on the Charizard to feel comfortable in that scenario. I could always just retreat into using the 60 damage from Charizard next turn to kill the Manaphy, so that's what I'm going to go for. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. So as long as I see 1 heads, I'm happy here. We do get 2 heads, that's great. He didn't have Magikarp last turn, so we'll see if he can pick it up now. I think even if he picks it up now, he's too slow to come back into the game. He would need some sort of Misty Miracle. Yeah, Rocky Helmet. Now I'm just going to retreat into Charizard and push 60 damage. Looking really good from this position. Also, I'll show him the Charizard. I can either use Leaf or X-Speed. I am going to use Leaf here. May as well get the support out of hand. But yeah, we're on 5 energy. He would literally need a Magikarp Misty Miracle right now. I mean, he would first need to find the Magikarp, which he's struggling to do. Even if he hits heads, it doesn't achieve anything. Actually, with red and heads, is that a one-shot, right? 120... Yeah, if he hits heads here, and he has red, he actually one-shots me. So let's see what happens. I guess I could have played around that by building up for the Moltres. I totally didn't consider the red plus the super effective. But even though it was embarrassing that I completely missed that, I might upload this anyway as a learning experience. It was quite a quick game, so yeah, learn from my mistakes, guys. Always consider the super effective damage plus red. If he'd one-shot my Charizard there, I would have been in a very rough spot. But GG.